Welcome. So you want to build a SaaS, but you have no money and you have no idea how to code. And so I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do, as well as giving you two examples of exactly what I did step by step with $0 and zero coding skills to validate two different SaaS ideas. And yes, still till this day, I've built multiple software companies, actually sold one a couple of months back, and I have no idea how to code. I don't know how to write a single line of code. And so with that small intro out of the way, let's break this all down. So the very first thing you need to do is to validate your idea. You have to sell before you build, right? I know this sounds contradictory, but it's just how you should do it. A lot of people build and then sell. They spend tons of time and money building what they think the market actually wants. And then when they finally put it out to the market, well, nobody actually buys. And they've spent a lot of time and money building something that nobody cares for. So you have to switch it. You have to sell before you build. So that's the very first step. Sell your idea, sell people on the dream, sell people on what your SaaS is actually going to fix. Sell them on the idea that if they buy your SaaS, they will have less pain dealing with XYZ problem. And by selling them, I don't mean just getting their emails or an SMS saying, hey, yeah, I'm interested. No, I mean actually validating the idea and getting interest from them with actual tangible dollars. So you get money in, okay? Not yeses and maybes, right? You actually get money in. So you sell before you build. That's the very first thing, which again, I'll show you later on how to do that step by step. That's the very first step. Sell, then build. Not build and sell, then build. Once you have that out of the way, now it's time to build your MVP. MVP stands for minimal viable product. And what that is basically essentially is a shitty version of what you're envisioning your SaaS will become. So if you think your SaaS is going to be this amazing mega tall building, gold-plated, floor-to-ceiling windows, a helipad on top, a slide that goes all around the building and goes to a pool, if that's your amazing idea, well, your MVP should just be a shitty mud hut. So in essence, they both have the same role, right? Either a big hotel or a mud hut. They both allow users to come in and shelter themselves from the rain. But of course, the mud hut looks bad and the other hotel, gold-plated, floor-to-ceiling windows looks amazing. But the idea here is that your MVP should do the exact same thing you envision your final product to be, just at a lower version of it. And so the idea here is that your MVP should be solving the same issues that your amazing idea here on the right side will eventually face, just with maybe a better UI, better UX, better customer support, all that stuff. But the issues they solve, the MVP as well as your end product, should be kind of the same. Maybe, of course, less features, less bells and whistles. But again, the inherent idea should be more or less the same. They should be solving the same kind of issue, same core issue. And so after step 1 and 2 were done, where the very first step was people giving you money, they were voting with their dollars saying, hey, listen, I'm interested. And after step 2, you've built some sort of MVP and you've released it out to these users for them to test it out. Well, then step 3, which is basically going to be the step where you're going to be spending more time, which is going to be all throughout the journey of your SaaS, is go out and improve the product based on user feedback and get more users. Okay, so that's basically the 3 pillars. Sell before you build a shitty MVP, then improve based on customer feedback. That's all you need to know. Now, with that theory out of the way, let me actually show you 2 tangible examples of how we actually did this with actual numbers to back it up, because I want to make sure that you know that this actually works, because we made money this way. Okay, so let me just hop in inside my computer so I can show you exactly how this was done with tangible step-by-step strategies. Right, so we're here in my whiteboard. So let me go over what these 2 ideas were. Okay, the very first one was a edutech SaaS. So I'm just increase this side of this. So these were both in 2 different niches, okay? And we were able to validate them quite quickly, okay? The other one was a B2C, platform SaaS. Okay, let's call it this, okay? So I'll go over what these 2 are and what we did, okay? So very first one, edutech SaaS. So I did my master's in this university in Portugal, right? It didn't really matter, right? And one of the issues I found with a lot of my colleagues they had was, the university is here, right? So the people that live close to the university, well, they just go walking, they go by metro maybe, they go by car, take like 20 minutes to come to the university, okay? But there's a lot of people that live far away from universities, right? Not just this one, but every single university, right? People move states, people like spend hours going to the universities. Like a lot of them, what they do is they live in the campus nearby. So there's these student blocks where students, like outside students that don't live nearby the university, well, they come in and they'll live here throughout the semester. So they live in the campus, okay, the university campus, okay? Now, one of the main issues with this is that our university, and surely way more all across the world, and if you can feel free to steal this idea because we've already validated it and it actually works. a lot of people, like the issue with this is that not a lot of people know where to find accommodation, right? And a lot of times, right, universities have these all filled out, the campus filled out. Or maybe some students don't really like these types of accommodations, so what they do is they look for other, maybe Airbnbs nearby, other places that are not the actual university campuses apartments to rent out as well. So what happens is that, again, all these students that come from the outside, well, some of them rent out the campus stays, right, apartments, and a lot of them also rent out nearby places, right, and they live here throughout the semester, okay? Now, the issue is that there was not a centralized platform with our university's brand where students could come in and fill out and select the apartments they want to rent and then actually rent them. So essentially an Airbnb-like platform, but for universities in specific. And so hopefully you're starting to see the idea here. The idea was to build a EDU B2B SaaS, B2B because it's business to business, right? We're selling this to the actual universities, so it's B2B. I'll even type it here so you can see it's actually B2B. So EDU B2B tech SaaS, okay? Because again, the goal is to sell this idea to universities, so the ticket of the software, the monthly recurring sale price will be very high, okay? Because we're not selling it to the students, we're selling to the universities, okay? To allow them to have this branded platform where users could come in and actually rent out a spot and then be happy and go with their day. Now, we knew some professors at the university, right? But we didn't just want to get in touch with them and see who we could present this idea to, because ideas are just ideas. You need something tangible, okay? I'm not speaking about building the MVP. Don't go out and build the MVP. That's step 2, as you know, right? The very first step is sell before you build. Sell them on the dream, sell them on the idea, okay? But it's way easier to sell them on the idea if you have, for example, a presentation, if you have something to show for, nothing built out, but something to show for, maybe renders, something. And so what we did was we built in Webflow this little shitty website, doesn't really work, right? Which was basically, we just created this, I created this like in 1 hour, right? None of this works. Branded to their university thing, right? Has some filters here, and people can actually click and see the rooms, right? This looks ugly, looks shitty, but the intent here, like I said before, the intent is still there. Allowing users to come in, see what the accommodation is like, see the price, right? Contact the landlord, see where it is in relation to the university, right? Like a map where they can see how much time they take to the university, and then pictures of the house, of the apartment, right? And then they can contact the landlord, right? Again, branded, how it works, etc., right? This was more than enough to show the university what we thought we could build for them. And they have multiple campuses, by the way, so we also added here the other campuses, right? So super simple. None of it actually works. I think this maybe actually works to put in the listing, because we actually wanted to show them how it would work like, how it would look like if users wanted to submit their recommendations, okay? So simple form, okay? None of this actually works. And so then what we did was quite simple. This is the part people think it's hard, but it's not, right? Now that we have something we can sell them the vision on, well, it's time to get in touch with the university. And it's super simple to get to the top. Super simple, especially if you're a past student, right? Just go to the footer, get in touch, and call every single person. Just call them up and be annoying. That's how you get through stuff. It's a pain in the ass, it's cringe, it takes work, but it's emailing people, it's following up, it's calling them over and over again that you finally get through. And maybe you don't want to do this, and maybe you won't be successful, because you got to do things that put you in uncomfortable situations. Super cliche, but to grow, you need to make yourself uncomfortable. So what we did was I just picked up the phone. I think I went to the contacts page around here. It's more in Portuguese, doesn't really matter. Just called up the first lady, and I think I called the IT department and said, hey, listen, I'm a past student here in university. I built this project that I think one of your teachers could want to take a look at. It doesn't really matter what you say. You just want to get onto the top. And if your idea is good, which we thought it was good, which we thought it solved the real issue for the university, well, people will listen to you. And they did listen to us. Now, with the second one, I'm going to show you, hopefully this loads. With this second idea, this B2C platform SaaS, we made $7,000 before we actually built anything. So we had $7,000 in our bank just off of this little shitty MVP. Not even MVP, just a landing page. But I'll go over that in a second here. For this one, we didn't actually make any money because there were some issues with them not wanting to be attached to, or basically the university not wanting any type or any type of person to be able to list their houses here, which then were under the brand name of the university. So again, all issues that could be solved because they love the idea, but then we didn't really follow through with it because we also had another SaaS idea on the pipeline. And so then we just quit with this. But we were actually able to validate them and they actually enjoyed it and they actually want to pursue it further. Okay. Now, the second idea, which again, we did 7K's worth of pre-sales, was this, right? It was basically this was a landing page, by the way. It's still not live, but if you go to this web archive and just go to nichebase.co, you'll find it. And the landing page was simple, right? It was telling what the SaaS did. So create this, right? It was basically a platform to create directories, right? It was in the same line of this. So as we were thinking for the university to be able to create a platform to list out houses, well, this software was more of a B2C alternative for people wanting to build about this platform. So people wanted to build maybe like Airbnb type platforms, okay? So we were able to create a profitable directory, right? There was a video of me here explaining and saying, hey, listen, guys, this is the product, this is the pain it solves, and we're offering a lifetime deal for the first 100 buyers for the next couple weeks, right? And there you go, lifetime deal, buy now button. And $7,000, I think even plus, worth of people. I'll put the screenshot up here if I find it. I think I should be able to find it, of people bought this offer, right? So we just drove traffic to this page, right? And then with a simple landing page, nothing too fancy, there was no product built out, right? There was nothing fancy done, zero money down. We got 7K's worth of pre-buys, and then we actually built out the product, right? I think I said in the video, hey, listen, once we get a couple pre-orders, right? The product, the first MVP should be out in around 2 to 3 months or 3 to 6 months. So just wait for that and just be aware that if you're buying this pre-sale, you are aware that that's going to happen. So there's going to be a delay. So again, no money down, no coding, nothing, 7K's worth of pre-sales. Okay. Now, how do you actually drive traffic to this? Well, we use Twitter, right, to drive traffic to this. And you might think, oh, yeah, but you need a personal brand. You don't, right? Nowadays with Twitter, with TikTok, followers don't matter, right? The only thing that matters is like how often you post, because by default you get a certain amount of impressions. For example, with TikTok, right? By default, they submit your video to around 300 people, right? And if all those 300 people like it, well, they submit it to 600, right? And if all of them like it, they'll submit it to 1,000, right? That's how it goes. So you don't necessarily need followers. Followers became like a vanity metric. You don't really necessarily need followers to get engagement. But there's a bunch more marketing strategies on this channel. I think I'll leave a few videos down below on tangible marketing strategies. My point here is not to talk about marketing, it's to talk about the whole process. So first step, sell before you build. So sell the dream, show them this, right? Show them this, and then get in touch. And then after you have validation, not in terms of emails, not in terms of yes and no's, but in terms of money, right? Actual tangible dollars. So money in your bank account, then that's when you go out and actually build the MVP, right? And then, of course, the third step is after we built this, we actually built this, right? The first MVP, right? We were going back and forth with the customers we had, right? And going off of their feedback and building it slowly day by day. What ended up happening is that eventually we just let it go because we had, again, another SaaS in the pipeline, which is actually our current SaaS right now, that was just taking off. And so, I mean, the reality is that you cannot focus on multiple things at once. If you want to succeed, you want to nail down on just one thing. And so we saw our other SaaS growing faster than this one. And so then we just said, fuck it, and just went with this one. Also because this is a very difficult thing to do, right? Because for multiple reasons, but it's very, very hard. And there are certain SaaSes that they're easier to do. And our current one is in the AI space. And so that's something I also talk about. If you're building a SaaS right now, don't make it boring. Build it in a niche that's pumping, right? I'll make a video on this later on of some ideas you can leverage, right? But for example, crypto is pumping, right? Go and build out a SaaS for crypto wallet tracking, right? Or find an issue in the crypto community and build a SaaS for that, right? Leverage AI. AI is sexy. AI is great. AI actually solves a ton of problems. So make sure your SaaS has AI in it in some way, shape, or form. Don't go out and build a CRM for doctors. Or if you do, actually try and leverage AI in it, right? Make it a current thing. Make it sexy. That's how you sell stuff, okay? And so that's basically these two examples of how we were able to build a thing, sell a thing before we actually build it. And actually validated, we actually here on this first one, we spoke with not the head dean, but the head guy for tech stuff at the university. And he said he wanted to do it, but we had to figure out a way to be able to vet the people that put the houses on there. And we thought, this is just too much work. Let's just focus on this other SaaS, which was this one, the B2B SaaS platform that I just told you about. And we actually drove traffic to the offer, and sold around more than 7K's worth of it before any single line was coded. Okay, we didn't code a single line of code. Okay, so that's that. Hopefully this was valuable. If you found it valuable, please like, subscribe, and comment down below what you want to see more on this channel. Because I'm not a guru, right? My day-to-day life is actually growing and building a SaaS business, right? So that's what I spend my time on. That's why I know all this stuff, and that's what I like to speak about. So check the links in the description. There's going to be like a free course there, and there's also like a paid thing, which is basically my marketing strategy behind my own current SaaS. But that's more if you want to like pay for training. If not, no worries. So yeah, like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.